If you have ever smoked some chicken and you ended up with tough, rubbery skin, I'm going to show you the easiest way to solve that problem. Now, this is not the only way to solve the problem, but it's definitely the easiest one. So let's get into it. So in this bowl, I got some chicken wings that I've already rinsed and cleaned, and I'm just going to pour them out on my cutting board here so I can process them. Now, what I'm doing here is quickly going through each one of these wings and pulling off any chicken feather quills that I can find. You don't want people biting into those things. So it's worth taking the time to go through your chicken and just pick off any of those quills that you see. So after I'm done doing that, I'm gonna give these a second rinse just to make sure they're nice and clean. Now let's take them back over to the cutting board, and I'm just gonna put some paper towels down first. That way when I flip them over, then the top side doesn't get wet all over again. So now let's thoroughly dry off the top side of all of the wings. We're gonna remove the paper towels and then flip them over and towel dry the other side. Now I'm gonna sit them in the fridge on a wire rack so that the air can circulate all around all sides of the wings. I'm just gonna let them hang out in the fridge until the skin is completely dry. Making sure your chicken skin is completely dry is the first step to making sure that your skin doesn't get tough and rubbery when you smoke it. All right, so it's been about an hour or so and the skin is completely dry. Now it's time to take these babies out to the grill and smoke them. Poultry has a lot of fat right underneath the skin, and in order to keep your poultry skin from getting tough and rubbery, you gotta melt that fat. Smoking at higher temperatures is the way to make that happen. Chicken and poultry in general just doesn't have all of the big connective tissues that you find in beef and pork, so it just doesn't need to smoke for hours and hours and hours. You have to do that with beef and you have to do that with poultry because it takes time for those connective tissues to break down and melt. You don't have to do that with chicken. Not only that, but chicken absorbs smoke very readily, very quickly. It doesn't take a long time for a chicken to take on a lot of smoke. So really, when you think about those two things, there's really no reason to smoke chicken for hours and hours and hours like you would with beef or ribs or something like that. All right, so let's get this chicken seasoned up, man. Today, I'm going to be using Kinder's no salt lemon pepper seasoning and Sassy Q honey jalapeno rub. All right, so now it's time to put them on the grill, man. I have my grill set up for indirect smoking. That means all of my heat is on one side and my food will be on the other side. My goal is to be somewhere between 275 and 300, but it really doesn't matter how hot it gets. The most important thing is to not fall below 275. All right, so it's been about an hour now, and I did check in at the 30-minute mark just to see how things were going, and they were looking good. But as you can see, these things are ready to come off, man. I did a temperature check and they were all temping somewhere around 175 to 80 degrees or so. So I went ahead and glazed half of these with some barbecue sauce and left the other half dry. Now I'm just gonna give that barbecue sauce another 10 minutes or so to tack up. And these things are ready, man. Let's check out the reveal. These things are looking good, man. They taste fantastic. I love the smoke profile on these. After about 10 minutes, the barbecue sauce on the wings that I sauced nice and tacky, and the other wings are looking great, man. So it's time to pull these things and they're done. So once again, just to recap, you want to start with dry skin. Wash, rinse, dry your skin, put it on some kind of rack that air can circulate in. Put your chicken in the fridge, let that skin dry while you are getting your grill up to temp. Then pull them out, season them up, put them on the grill. Run your temperature anywhere above 275. 275 and above is great. Remember, chicken doesn't take that long to absorb smoke. You don't have to smoke chicken for hours and hours and hours. You should be able to get a nice smoky profile on chicken in an hour and a half at the absolute most. We're not looking for something crispy. We're just looking for nice soft skin that stays in place when we take a bite. And that is what you want when you smoke some chicken, man. So I hope this helps. Keep watching. We got more stuff coming up on Round on the Grill. Later.